Tonight on Blue Mondays. Super Duper Tuesday is now behind us, but what do the results mean? We take a look inside the numbers for the Democrats and the Republicans. All this and more tonight on Blue Mondays for February 11th, 2008. Good evening and welcome to Blue Mondays. Blue Mondays is on the second and the fourth Monday nights of each and every month here on AOC Channel 15, and we're very glad that you joined us. My name is Stephen Handwork, and I am your host. I will be bringing you the news as it relates to us here in Acadiana, and I'm very happy to do it. First off, though, I want to take a point of personal privilege. As many of you know, I was an early and vocal supporter of John Edwards. I just think the world of John Edwards. Senator Edwards has done an amazing job, not only while he was in the Senate, but since he left the Senate, he's done just some amazing work. I'm really sad to see him bow out of this race, but I think that he probably did the right thing. We have a historic event happening right now. We're either going to nominate the first female or the first African American, and I got to tell you, I am incredibly excited about this. I never thought that this would happen this early in my life, and I'm very happy to see it. So no matter what happens, we're going to be very happy. We haven't seen the last of John Edwards yet. John and his wife Elizabeth, as well as their 3 children, I got to tell you, I think the world of them. I thank you so much for giving up of yourselves to run for office. I know it takes a lot out of you. I will be there immediately at your beck and call in the future for whatever endeavors you guys choose to take on. We also send out our personal best to Elizabeth Edwards dealing with her cancer. So with that, we say goodbye to John Edwards, but we say hello to us finally making our decision. So with that, let's take a look at how the results came in for Super Duper Tuesday. We're going to go ahead and take this alphabetically, so let's go ahead and get started. First up, we'll take a look at the Democrats for Alabama. Alabama primary came in, and Obama swept. He got 56% of the votes. Alabama actually was a primary, so they actually had about 500,000 people voted, a little over 500,000 people voted. Obama took in 56% of the vote. Clinton came in with 42% of the vote, with quite an outstanding turnout there. We're really happy to see those results come in. For the Republicans, Alabama, Huckabee, no surprise there. Huckabee came in first, and that was quite interesting to see. He came in with 41% of the vote, followed up very closely behind by John McCain with 37%. Mitt Romney, who just today, as we're recording this, has bowed out of the race. So it looks like the Republicans now have their nominee. It looks like it's going to be John McCain. Romney, though, came in with 18% of the vote, and Ron Paul, a very distant 3% of the vote. Moving up north next, Alaska for the Democrats. Obama comes in with 75% of the vote up there in Alaska. Now, Alaska has caucuses, so the actual total counts, if you look at the numbers, it's a little bit different. They don't vote directly. They actually go through caucuses. But Obama was able to come in with 75% of the vote. Quite impressive for Senator Obama. Clinton came in with a very distant 25%, and somewhat surprising. I thought that she would do better up there in Alaska, but then again, who understands Alaskan politics? For the Republicans in Alaska, Mitt Romney came in with 44% of the vote, garnering himself 12 delegates. Huckabee came in with a very distant 22%. Surprisingly, he did this well up there. Ron Paul came in with a 17%, and quite amazing there. And John McCain, a very distant 4th, with only 15% of the vote. Arizona, the Democrats, Clinton came in first there, just squeaking out a lead there with 51% of the vote. Obama comes in with 42% of the vote. And John Edwards, even though, like I said, he's bowed out of the race, he's still got 5% of the vote. The problem is, though, I don't know if delegates are going to be awarded for folks who vote for a candidate once they've actually left. Once the vote takes once the candidate leaves the race, I don't think that if you vote for them afterwards, if those delegates will actually be assigned. I suppose it's going to be up to the state parties and their delegate selection plan as to how that's going to work out. Republican primary there in Arizona, John McCain, no surprise, he's from Arizona. John McCain came in with 47% of the vote, but I got to tell you, it's quite interesting for him to be from that state and he only got 47% of the vote in his own state. That's got to be a concern for him and for their party. Now, the Republicans oftentimes do theirs as winner-take-all, so he gets all 50 delegates from the state of Arizona, even though he did not win a majority there. So I don't know if that's quite fair, but you'll have to take that up with the Republican Party. Mitt Romney came in second place with 34%. Mike Huckabee came in with only 9%, and Ron Paul came in with a distant 5%, but still quite impressive for him to be able to bring that in. But again, because Republicans do winner-take-all, only John McCain is actually awarded delegates from the state of Arizona. Arkansas, Hillary Clinton, no surprise there. Hillary Clinton comes in with 70% of the vote there in Arkansas. 70% of the vote, 23 delegates awarded to her. Also, too, in that delegate count, you're going to see a great many of them are going to be the super delegates, and I'm sure that they're probably already in the Hillary camp to boot. Barack Obama came in with 27% of the vote there, garnering 6 delegates. Edwards came in with 2% for those of you who are keeping score. Arkansas for the Republicans, no surprise here. Mike Huckabee comes in with 60% of the vote. That's quite impressive. Now, he is, of course, the former governor of Arkansas, so you would think that he would do well. He did quite well there. He actually garners 26% of the 26 delegates there after his 60% of the vote. John McCain came in a very, very distant second with only 20% of the vote. Mitt Romney with 14 and Ron Paul with 5 for those of you who are keeping score. On to California. Huge, huge state here with a lot of delegates to be awarded. Hillary Clinton comes in first with 52% of the vote. 52% of the vote. Barack Obama comes in second, obviously, with 42% of the vote. The numbers, though, are astounding. 2.1 million people turned out and voted for Hillary Clinton. 1.7 million people turned out and voted for Barack Obama. Quite impressive. Hillary Clinton garners 42 delegates from that state. Now, that's not official as of right now. There's probably more. They've got more to be awarded, but some of the super delegates have not picked a side yet. So stay tuned for that information. California primary for the Republicans, McCain comes in with 42% of the vote. Again, the Republicans do this as winner take all. So 116 delegate votes all go to John McCain. That is a huge win for him. And because all of these delegates get assigned in one lump sum, that's quite impressive. Mitt Romney comes in second place with 34% of the vote. Nothing to be sniffed at. Mike Huckabee comes in a very distant third with only 12% of the vote. And Rudy Giuliani bringing up the rear. Even though he has actually bowed out of this race, he came in with 5%. Ron Paul with 4%. Colorado for the Democrats. Obama came in with 67% of the vote. Obama easily takes Colorado. Hillary Clinton only comes in with 32%. So quite interesting there. Quite interesting numbers there. The total delegates, Obama gets 13 delegates, Clinton gets 6. Colorado caucuses for the Republicans. Mitt Romney comes in first place in Colorado with 60% of the vote. Again, winner take all, he gets 22 delegates. McCain came in a very, very distant second place with only 19% of the vote. And Huckabee, of course, comes in with 13%. Ron Paul comes in with 8. Now, mind you, these are caucuses, so these numbers are a little bit skewed, but still, with the winner take all, you got to be impressed with that. He gets 22 delegates right off the bat there for John McCain. Quite impressive. Connecticut for the Democrats. Barack Obama comes in first place. He gets 51% of the vote there in Connecticut. Hillary Clinton with 47%. Quite an upset. I really thought that Hillary Clinton was going to end up being able to take Connecticut, especially with the endorsements of Teddy Kennedy and John Kerry. So we'll have to see how this works out. Anyhow, she gets 22 delegates. Obama gets 26 from that state. Connecticut for the Republicans, John McCain comes in first place with 52% of the vote. Quite impressive. Mitt Romney with 33%, Mike Huckabee with 17%, and Ron Paul with a distant 4. 27 delegates. Winner take all goes to John McCain. Delaware, very small state. Obama comes in first over in Delaware, garnering himself 9 delegates. Hillary Clinton comes in second place with 43% of the vote, and she gets 6 delegates for her troubles. Delaware primary for the Republicans, John McCain comes in with 45%. Not a majority, not a true majority, but he at least comes in with a simple majority there with 45% of the vote. Again, winner take all on the delegates. He gets 18 delegates from that state. Mitt Romney comes in second place with 33%, Mike Huckabee with 15%, and Ron Paul with 4%. Georgia. This was a huge, huge win for Barack Obama. Huge win. And look at the numbers there. Barack Obama ends up getting 67% of the vote there, garnering himself 27 delegates. Definitely very impressive. Hillary Clinton comes in second place with a very distant 31%. That was actually quite shocking. And one has to question if Bill Clinton actually helped or hurt Hillary in the state of Georgia with all the politicking that was going on there. Georgia primary for the Republicans, Mike Huckabee comes in first in Georgia. Not a surprise there with the religious conservatives there. He gets 34% of the vote, but a very distant second. John McCain comes in with 32%, Mitt Romney with 30%. Look how tight that race was. Ron Paul following up very distantly with 3% there in Georgia. Again, winner take all, so Mike Huckabee gets 45 delegates. Idaho caucuses for the Democrats. Barack Obama comes in with 79% of the caucus goers. Quite impressive there. So 79% with the caucuses. Hillary Clinton comes in with only 17% there in Idaho. That is, again, quite stunning, those numbers. Barack Obama ends up taking home most of the delegates from there. He gets 15 delegates from the state of Idaho. Illinois primary, Barack Obama comes in first in Illinois. Not a surprise, that is his home state, by the way. He garners 65% of the vote, getting himself 72 delegates. He does have some super delegates coming in from that state, of course, as well. Hillary Clinton gets 33% of the vote and garnering herself 37 delegates. Illinois primary for the Republicans, John McCain comes in at 47%, Mitt Romney comes in at 29%, Mike Huckabee a distant third with 17%, and Ron Paul bringing up the rear again there with 5% of the vote. Again, winner take all on the delegates there, John McCain garnering himself 54 delegates. Massachusetts primary. This was a surprise on the Republican side, but first let's take a look at the Democratic side. Hillary Clinton comes in first place there with 56% of the vote there in Massachusetts. Now, mind you, very popular senators from there, John Kerry and Teddy Kennedy, both of them endorsed Barack Obama. Both of them were touring the entire state for Barack Obama. And surprise, surprise, Hillary Clinton still ends up pulling this out with 56% of the vote. Barack Obama coming in with 41% of the vote. 54 delegates go to Clinton and 37 go to Barack Obama. Now, mind you, there are some super delegates in there that are going to Barack as well, which include their governor, I believe, also their 2 senators. So quite some interesting numbers there from Massachusetts. For the Republicans on Massachusetts, Mitt Romney comes in first place, barely squeaking through with 51% of the vote. Mind you, okay, Massachusetts is the state that he used to be governor of, so he gets 51% of the vote there. John McCain comes in with a surprising 41%. Now, Massachusetts doesn't split. It actually splits its delegates, so winner does not take all there. This ultimately hurting Romney. Romney only garners 22 delegates from that state. John McCain garners 18 delegates from that state. Of course, Huckabee brings in a very distant third place with 4%. Ron Paul nipping on his heels with 3%. Minnesota caucuses. Barack Obama comes in first with 67% of caucus goers, garnering himself 48 delegates. Quite impressive there. Minnesota for Clinton. Clinton gets in 32% of the vote, getting herself only 24 delegates from that state. Minnesota caucuses for the Republicans. Mitt Romney comes in first with 41% of the vote. He gets 36 delegates because it's winner take all. John McCain comes in with 22%, Mike Huckabee with 20%, and Ron Paul, impressive 16% there from the state of Minnesota. Interestingly enough, Minnesota, don't forget, that's where they actually had the Hulk Hogan, right, as their, was it Hulk Hogan? Somebody, one of the wrestlers was, no, Jesse Ventura. That's it. Jesse Ventura was their governor for 2 terms, I do believe. So they like their independent streak. They like their libertarian streak. So Minnesota, that's the results for the Republicans. On to Missouri. Missouri for the Democrats. Barack Obama comes in with 49% of the vote, garnering himself 30 delegates. Hillary Clinton comes in, squeaks in just in second place with 48%. She garners herself 30 delegates as well from Missouri. So it's pretty much an even tie there from that state. Missouri for the Republicans. John McCain comes in first place, barely, with 33% of the vote, getting, again, winner take all, 58 delegates out of that state for the Republicans. Mike Huckabee comes in just distantly, just very, very small behind John McCain with 32%. Romney comes in with 29%, and Ron Paul bringing up the rear as he usually does there with 4% of the vote. Ron Paul still in this race. You got to start scratching your head. Montana. The Democrats do not vote in Montana until June 3rd. We hopefully will have a candidate. We will hopefully have our nominee by then. But let's look at the Republicans. The Republicans for Montana. Mitt Romney comes in first with 38% of the vote. Again, winner take all, so he gets 25 delegates. Ron Paul, though, comes in second. Mind you, these are caucuses, so these numbers look a little bit different. But Ron Paul comes in with 25% of the caucus goers. John McCain comes in third with 22, and Mike Huckabee bringing up the rear with 15%. New Jersey. Neighboring New Jersey, we knew that this would go well for Clinton, but she barely squeaks by. Clinton wins this state with 54% of the vote, garnering herself 51 delegates. Most of the superdelegates from that state are going for Hillary Clinton. She came in with over 500,000 voters there, again with 54% of the vote. Barack Obama comes in with 44% of the vote, garnering himself 37 delegates. So again, very impressive, but we pretty much knew that Clinton was going to take New Jersey. Let's look at New Jersey for the Republicans. McCain comes in with 55% of the vote there, garnering himself, again, winner take all, 52 delegates. This is quickly pushing McCain up through the top as the results came in on Super Duper Tuesday. Romney comes in second with 28%. Huckabee a very distant third with 8%, and Ron Paul bringing up the rear with 5%. New Mexico primary for the Democrats. Hillary Clinton comes in first place there with 49% of the vote. It is not really a surprise that Hillary took this state. The reports that I have here show her at 49% of the vote, Barack Obama with 48% of the vote. The delegates will actually be awarded. I don't have those totals here right in front of me. So those are the numbers that we see from there. New Mexico Republicans, guess what? They don't vote until June 3rd. So, again, let's kind of cross our fingers to hope that there's delegates or nominees selected by then. Let's move on to New York. New York State. Hillary Clinton, no surprise there. 57% of the voters went for Hillary Clinton. She got just over 1 million voters to turn out and vote for her. 57% of the voters. That garners her 127 delegates. Much needed, by the way. Obama comes in second with 40%. He garners himself 87 delegates from that state. New York for the Republicans. John McCain comes in with 51% of the vote, garnering himself all 101 delegates from the state of New York. Mitt Romney comes in second, doesn't really much matter, with 28% of the vote. Mike Huckabee comes in with 11% in third place, and Ron Paul coming in with 7%, bringing up the rear in fourth. North Dakota caucuses for the Democrats. Barack Obama takes this one. 61% of the caucus goers go in favor of Barack Obama. That garners him only 8 delegates. North Dakota's kind of small state, has more heads of cow, I think, than they do people. Hillary Clinton, though, comes in with 37% of the vote. She gets 5 delegates from that state. And let's go ahead and take a look at North Dakota for the Republicans. Mitt Romney comes in first there. Again, this was a rather close race race there. North Dakota, Mitt Romney comes in with 36% of the vote, garnering himself 8 delegates. Now, they split their delegates. They're the exception to the rule. North Dakota actually splits their delegates on the Republican side. John McCain comes in second place there with 23%, getting himself 5 delegates. Ron Paul comes in with third place with 21%. He also gets 5 delegates. And not to be forgotten, Mike Huckabee comes in with 20%. He gets 5 delegates too. So it looks like they spread them around pretty evenly there. Oklahoma. Hillary Clinton wins Oklahoma with 55% of the vote. She garners herself 24 delegates out of that state. Obama comes in with 31%. He only gets 14 out of that state. That was actually kind of surprising. Oklahoma, considered somewhat of a southern state, Midwestern. For it to go for Hillary Clinton, that's definitely something to be said for her Arkansas roots. Oklahoma primary for the Republicans. John McCain barely comes out on top here. 37% of the voters. He gets 32 delegates out of that state. Again, winner take all. Mike Huckabee, though, from the neighboring state, he comes in with 33%. He gets 6 delegates out of this state. That must be their super delegates coming into play. Romney comes in with third place, not to be sneezed at, with 25%. And Ron Paul, a very distant fourth, comes in with 3% of the vote there. Tennessee primary. We're bringing this in for a landing. Tennessee primary for the Democrats. Hillary Clinton comes in with 54%. She garners herself 34 delegates. Obama comes in second with 41%, getting himself 21 delegates there. Tennessee for the Republicans, no surprise here. Mike Huckabee comes in first place, but barely, with 34% of the vote. Again, they split their delegates up here, so he actually gets 21 delegates out of this state. John McCain comes in second place with 32% of the vote, and he gets 14 delegates for himself. Mitt Romney comes in with 24%, coming in third. He actually gets 9 delegates out of this state. And Ron Paul comes in last there, again, comes in fourth with 6% of the vote. Utah for the Democrats. Barack Obama. This is a surprise. Barack Obama takes Utah with 57% of the vote. And this was actually a primary, so quite impressive for Barack Obama to do this well in Utah. 57% of the vote. He garners himself 14 delegates. Hillary Clinton comes in with 39% of the vote, garnering herself 9 delegates out of that state. Utah primary, the Utah primary for the Republicans. Mitt Romney comes in with 90% of the vote in this state. This is huge. Mitt Romney coming in so well. But again, Mitt Romney's Mormon. The majority religion in Utah is Mormon, so that's not really to be that surprising there, especially on the Republican side. Mitt Romney takes all of their delegates, 36 delegates in total. He takes those cleanly home. McCain comes in a very, very distant third. You can't even see, Mitt Romney can't even see him in his rearview mirror with only 5%. Ron Paul comes in with 3%, and Mike Huckabee clear down at 2% there. West Virginia, guess what? Democrats don't vote in West Virginia until May 13th, but let's look at the Republicans. West Virginia caucuses for the Republicans. Mike Huckabee comes in with 52% of the vote, garnering himself 18 delegates from that state. Romney comes in second with 47% of the vote. John McCain comes in with 1%. So quite a surprise there that McCain only ends up getting 12 of those caucus headquarters going for him with 1% of the vote. Kind of surprising there, especially if he's going to be the nominee. West Virginia is going to be a problem, I think, for him. So, those are the election results for Super Duper Tuesday. I think I have lost my voice now, but I hope that you enjoyed those breakdowns to see how the rest of the country is doing. I know a lot of people have moved around. People might wonder what's going on. So, hopefully that was helpful to you guys to do a quick recap like that. This past Saturday, we had our elections here in Louisiana. And on our next show, we're going to take a look at those numbers and see how they actually came in different parts of the state and what that might actually mean. We're also going to be talking talking to some different folks, and hopefully we'll be able to have them here on camera for you to enjoy region by region and parish by parish. For a preview of this, though, make sure you log on over to theadvertiser.com tomorrow morning, and there you'll be able to read my column, The Left Blog, there each and every week on Tuesday mornings, usually by 9 a.m. You'll be able to check out my column there so that you'll be able to stay informed, stay in tune, and get to be unspun from the Republican right-wing media. But that's it for our show for this week. We hope you enjoyed the show. We have a great time putting it together for you. There's hopefully a lot of information and you found it interesting. We certainly did, and we thank you for joining us. Again, make sure on Thursday mornings you tune in to AM 1330 KVOL. There I'm on each and every Thursday morning from 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock. I hope you'll join me and Portia Evans bringing up and representing for the left, for the hardworking men and women of this incredibly rich and diverse area. I hope that you enjoyed the show. I hope that you'll take care of each other and take care of yourself, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, okay? Thanks a lot for watching. Again, I'm Stephen Handworth for Blue Mondays. Thanks a lot for watching. Good night.